One of the busiest airports in the country is still experiencing delays and flight cancellations. New Jersey's
Greetings everyone, especially to our research panelists and our research advisor. I'm Keith Matthew Tilmagno and I'm in charge with the significance of the study and the research design. Together with
I'm Sean Manlingling and I'm responsible for participants, respondents, and sampling procedure and data gathering procedure.
I am John Monduragas and I am in charge of the statement of the problem, hypothesis, and the research instrument.
I am Ian Mayana. I'm responsible of related review of literature and ethical considerations.
I'm Pedro Silva and I'm in charge of the conceptual design and data analysis. And we're here to present to you our research proposal entitled The Correlation Between Global Sustainability Initiatives and the Aviation Industry's Operational Strategies. And for the background of the study, we have Mr. Ben.
In recent years, the aviation industry has been facing growing pressure to align with global sustainability initiatives such as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the International Civil Aviation Organization programs, and the carbon offsetting and reduction scheme for international aviation. Our research shows that operational emissions remain the largest contributor to aviation's carbon footprint. However, studies also highlight that sustainable measures such as using alternative fuels and climate optimized propane have the potential to significantly reduce emissions while keeping costs manageable. Despite this, airlines often struggle to integrate emissions sustainability into their operations without increasing expenses or compromising service quality, and there is still limited empirical evidence to prove the long-term effectiveness of these strategies across different continents. Now, for our review of related literature, studies show that the aviation industry is under increasing pressure due to growing air traffic and rising emissions. As researchers highlight that while airlines are adopting sustainable measures, aviation still contributes around 2 to 3% of global stable emissions. Sustainable aviation fuels are identified as one of the most promising solutions, but current production remains very limited and costly. While this in mind, the main objective of our study is to determine the correlation between global sustainability initiatives and aviation industry operational strategies, wherein also aviation is one of the major contributors to greenhouse gas emissions and its impact on climate change is becoming more noticeable. Overall, these studies agree that sustainable aviation fuel is necessary for aviation's future, but challenges in scaling out production and lowering costs need to be solved in order to make a big difference. Now, let me turn you over to Mr. Keith Magno, who will be discussing the significance of the study.
For the significance of the study, the completion of the study's findings will benefit the following. First, airline companies may use this study to establish better sustainable initiatives to implement its operational strategies. Second, aircraft manufacturers may use this study as a basis to innovate aircrafts to meet global sustainability goals. Third, lawmakers like the Civil Aviation of the Philippines or CAAP may also use this study as a basis in implementing environmental policies. Fourth, environmental and climate advocacy groups may benefit from the study's results, acquiring data about the status of sustainability goals in the aviation sector. Next, the general public and future generations may benefit from the study since it promotes better air quality and comfort for air travelers. And lastly, the future researchers may use the study as a reference for further knowledge and innovation to achieve the world's sustainability goals. And for the SOP or Statement of the Problem, we have Mr. Ragas.
Now, for the statement of the problem, the researchers aim to answer these questions on number 1. Is there a significant relationship between global sustainability initiatives and the operational strategies in the aviation industry? Now, for number 2, what sustainable initiatives have been implemented by the aviation industry, and do these initiatives have a significant impact on global sustainability goals? Now, lastly, which initiative has created the most significant in the aviation industry? Now, moving on to the hypothesis. For the hypothesis, the researchers came up with number one on the null hypothesis. There is no significant relationship between global sustainable initiatives and strategies of the aviation industry. For the alternative hypothesis, there is a significant relationship between global sustainability initiatives and the operational strategies of the aviation industry. And for number two on the null hypothesis, there is no significant impact from the implementation of sustainable initiatives in the aviation industry. And lastly, for the alternative, the aviation industry has a significant impact on achieving global sustainability goals. Now, let's move on to the conceptual framework.
Proceeding with the conceptual framework, this part of the paper illustrates the connections between variables. The figure shows the sustainable initiatives of the aviation industry to address its greenhouse gas emissions. The significant difference of the results will determine whether the researchers will accept or reject the study's hypothesis.
For the research design, a quantitative correlational research design will be employed in the study to examine the relationship between global sustainability initiatives and the aviation industry's operational strategies. This design allows the use of numerical data, statistical analysis, and hypothesis testing to identify patterns, correlations, and predictive relationships between variables. And for the sampling and respondents, we have Mr. Manili.
For our participants, the respondents of the study are aviation industry professionals, including airline operation managers, sustainability officers, aircraft maintenance engineers, flight operation planners, ground operation supervisors, and aviation regulators such as the representative from CAAC. Airline operation managers are important because they manage flight schedules and fuel use, which affects emission. Sustainability officers focus on applying eco-friendly practices like waste reduction and alternative fuels. Aircraft maintenance engineers make sure planes run safely and efficiently, reducing fuel waste and environmental impact. Flight operation planners design flight paths that can save fuel and minimize noise pollution. Ground operation supervisors handle airport activities such as baggage and aircraft services, which can influence waste management and energy use. Finally, CAAC regulators set and enforce policies that push the whole industry to follow global sustainability standards. The study will use proposing a convenient sampling to select respondents who can give meaningful insights about the connection between sustainability initiatives and aviation operations. And for our research instrument, Mr. Lagasa will explain.
For the research instrument, the researchers will use a validated Likert scale survey adapted from Agasam and Martens in 2023 to examine the relationship between global sustainability initiatives and operational strategies in the aviation industry. The questionnaire will be modified to align with the current research focus, specifically on sustainability initiatives and operational strategies, and will undergo validation through reviews by the research advisor and panelists. Now, let's move on to the data gathering procedure.
For our data gathering, the researchers will collect data through survey questionnaires made and reviewed with the help of their advisor and instructors. After approval from the dean, the surveys will be given to aviation professionals such as managers, engineers, officers, and regulators from CAAC. Before answering, respondents will be asked for informed consent to ensure they understand the study and that their answers will remain confidential. The surveys will be finalized in Google Form and distributed until the needed number of respondents is reached. This process will help gather insights on how sustainability initiatives relate to aviation operations. And for our data analysis, Mr. Silva will explain.
Proceeding with the data analysis, the researchers will use both descriptive and inferential statistical methods to compute and provide results. To identify which initiatives have been implemented, the frequency and percentage distribution method will be used. The operation changes in the aviation industry will serve as the independent variable, whilst the dependent variable is global sustainability. Pearson's correlation test will be used to identify the significance of the relationship between these two variables. Lastly, to analyze the data and identify the most effective initiative, we will be using the one-way analysis of variant test or the ANOVA test. And the researchers will be using software such as Microsoft Excel to ensure the statistical correctness of the computed data, and will be presented in the appropriate graphics such as graphs and tables to relay the information in visual format. Handing over the stage to Mr. Bayan, he will be the ethical considerations.
For our study, we must review and follow established research standards to ensure integrity and responsibility. Informed consent will be obtained from aviation professionals and regulatory representatives with full respect for confidentiality and privacy. The data we collected through our survey will only be used for academic purposes, handled with care, and reported accurately without bias. We will also make sure to acknowledge all intellectual property properly and disclose any possible conflicts of interest. Finally, consistent with our study's focus on sustainability, we will minimize resource use and prioritize digital communication methods. These measures aim to protect participants, ensure credible results, and reflect our commitment to both professional integrity and environmental responsibility. That concludes our presentation. Thank you for your time and thank you for listening.